Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, where today we're going to be discussing my thoughts on why the Orochi is balanced. Now many of you will notice I have been playing Orochi lately, and that is because in my honest opinion I really like the character. I really do. He, in my opinion, is fairly balanced compared to most other characters that have been DLC released, and honestly I do like the character and I do not see any problems with him myself. Many people have expressed their complaints about this character and have said he has been overpowered or not overpowered. I'm going to say he is in the middle and seems somewhat balanced at the moment. However, this is subject to change later in the future due to skill level slowly rising over getting used to the character, much like how Aramusha was before. And the same for Kensei as well, but Kensei is a different topic, and we're going to discuss Orochi right now because I am, of course, maining him currently. Now keep in mind, the Orochi is one of the few characters that has no bashes, crowd control, or unblockables, not accounting for deflex, because the deflex are, well, deflex, along with also having reflex guards, so this puts him at a huge disadvantage when fighting multiple enemies, making anti-ganking near impossible or just extremely difficult, given Revenge Gear also being, and Revenge also being kind of stupidly broken at the moment, in both ways. Now, first off, let's start off with Storm Rush, because Storm Rush tends to be where the most Orochi topics go towards now since his rework. Storm Rush may be the fastest indicator in the game, but that is only from a single direction, being his right or your left. So, simply blocking from that direction and then changing guard as soon as you see the indicator is the best option. The other directions can be reacted to with practice, and I say with practice because this is very difficult. And it requires a back dodge, which in itself is pretty risky because you can also just guard break them during that back dodge, as well as it leaves you open to chase moves as you do that because Orochi doesn't have a guard when he dodges. So yeah, it's kind of scary to back dodge as Orochi, unless they can anticipate you attacking them. So, again, it could go either way there. It isn't easy to spam, and it relies on mind games. So, when you go to do a Storm Rush, what you have to do is you have a delay in the time you back up, you have to hold it, then you have to choose your direction based on where the opponent is currently blocking, then you attack. And then, if you ever choose to do it again right after without leading up with your combo, you have to back dodge again. Your opponent's not going to let you easily do that if you stop your chain right there. They're going to guard break you. So, mind game seems to be of what Ubisoft is going towards right now, given how Kensei, Conquer, and Highlander's reworks were. So, yeah, I think mind games are a nice addition to this game, and I think they are here to stay because of how the previous seasons have been. Another thing to mention about the Storm Rush is it has no hyper armor, so it is very easily interrupted by things like Eagle's Talons, the Shinobi Kick, or even the Warlord Jumping Heavy if you want to go that far. I wouldn't go that far, but I mean you can say it can. So there's also that, and there's also the other minor, yet also major detail that a lot of people seem to have not gotten when the Storm Rush was changed, was that it's not meant to be parried. It's Orochi's only opener. He is meant to be a fast attacker in exchange. He's given no unblockables other than his deflect. So he's meant to attack fast and get something in, but in exchange, he can't have any bash whatsoever. So he's just meant to hit you during that state, or you're supposed to block it. You're not supposed to parry it at all. Now, another topic that many people go to is Orochi's lights. His lights are fast, but they're supposed to be a mix-up game, much like how Aramusha was meant to be and how Berserker Feint Game is right now, because you all know the Berserker Feint Game is pretty strong. Aramusha Feint Game was strong when it first released, but it kinda just didn't hold out very long. The lights aren't supposed to be distinguishable from the heavies to give Orochi less room to be parried. Because of this, Orochi's second lights are 4 milliseconds, while the first and third are 500 milliseconds. This leaves many good Orochis a nice opportunity to mix in heavies, punishing an opponent for guessing incorrectly without having to feint, leaving Orochi able to continue to fluidly keep the pressure with his dodge recovery cancel. And since when Orochi's light spam, it is often very predictable and easy to parry, at least from a PC user's perspective. You get a decent punish for parrying an Orochi light, so those that spam lights won't get very far unless they are testing their luck or they are mixing in heavies, which is what Orochi was intended to do. For example, let's say against a Kensei and Orochi is light spamming, get caught in one parry, there goes a huge chunk of Orochi's health with a 40 damage punish, or even Highlander. Highlander can also do the 40 damage punish. Raider gets a decent punish, could use a little bit more. Then you also got the Lawbringer ad mortem in the Mioclus. And then you got a ton of more punishes that could lead to so much more damage on the Orochi just because you parried the light that they were too predictable to use. Now, another thing is Orochi's Riptide Strike, which is now a light. The Riptide Strike is nothing more than a 500 millisecond dodge light that happens to have a lot of iframes. Upon using it, the user takes a risk that their opponent will not feint and that the recovery of their attack will be just long enough for the counterattack to land, granting the Orochi a nice flow into the combos that the Orochi can present. And upon feinting, however, the opponent is regularly granted a free guard prick or even a parry. This forces the Orochi to either be cautious when using it or cocky if their opponent regularly does not feint, which is understandable because if you do not feint mid to high tier gaming with For Honor, you will typically suffer. And having a counterattack move instead of an actual mechanic behind it is a pretty strong thing in this game. Take Nobushi's Hidden Stance, for instance. That thing has iframes that are pretty strong to use if the right user is in control of that character. Now, next up is feats, since that is also the main discussion with Orochi when people go to say he is overpowered. Typically, many people will complain about the feats of Orochi, and in particular, the Kiai feat. K-I-A-I feat. I might be mispronouncing that, who knows. While this may seem like the strongest level 1 feat in existence given the Orochi rework because it puts you out of stam and the Orochi is free to light spam with little to no punishment or stopping force to that. In my experience, it is not most of the time, because what happens is when you are put in that state, you are giving your opponent more revenge, and that typically also does the opposite of what you're intending to do. So here's what happens. You go to Kiai your opponent. You put them out of stamina. What's the first thing the Orochi does? They start attacking. Upon doing this, the opponent is granted revenge for blocking, maybe the occasional parry if they are ballsy as crap, or even just counter guard breaking, because a lot of Orochis will go for a guard break right after the Kiai. I mean, we've all done it. And when this happens, you just fed the opponent so much revenge that it's kind of the opposite effect of what you wanted in the first place. So Kiai, in my opinion, is a terrible feat when you have feats like Bounty Hunter at present, where it just seems a lot more useful. And you also have Iron Lungs. Why would you use Iron Lungs? Why is that still a feat? I do not know. But that's how that is. So, in general, these are my opinions and thoughts on why I think the Orochi is balanced. If you guys did like this video and you want to see more of my thoughts on this game and why I think other aspects are balanced or unbalanced, please do hit that like button. Don't forget to comment down below which one you would like me to do next, and I'll see all you dudes in the next video. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys!